This episode of Tekzilla is sponsored by AMD.
Hey guys, I'm going on a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Japan, August 14th. Hey, that's a special day for me anyway. I'm looking for a way to transfer files from my camera to a portable drive. The camera is my trusty Canon T2i.
I got one of those.
And the portable drive is a Western Digital Passport 250 gigabyte drive. I'd rather not lug around the laptop, and I was thinking about a tablet, weight being an issue. I can't take all of my beloved lenses. I was thinking something in the 7-inch range would be ideal, but will they work with a USB, powered of course, the drive and a small SD card reader? Any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. Yeah.
Well, let's kind of take the larger view on this. The first thing I'm going to say is SD cards are cheap. They don't weigh anything if weight is a consideration. They take up almost no space, even if you put in one of those fancy Pelican, put them in like one of Pelican's fancy SD card containers, and you can fit thousands of photos on a single 32 gigabyte SD card. So I'm going to say your best case scenario, if you're even a compact flash SD card, buy a bunch of them.
Heck yeah.
Right, especially if it's SD card. I can understand compact flash a little pricier.
I was looking at the extreme SanDisk cards that I love using. They're actually rated for not only being durable, the plastic, they're also waterproof, shockproof, and a bunch of other stuff too. They're almost indestructible, really. You have to really work at it to break one of those, so they're handy to keep on you.
The nice thing about the case is actually so you don't lose the SD card in your bag or your backpack or your camera bag, however you travel. Look, there are really cool 2.5-inch hard drives from Nexto, for example, is one you're looking at right here. Hyperdrive is another company. The Hyperspace, Color Space, UD made two. And what they can do is basically you have that hard drive enclosure, you put your hard drive inside of it, you stick the memory card into it, you press a button, and it sucks the information off the card and backs it up on the hard drive. Really, really cool, right? But they're $250 to $500 plus. For that price, you'll be able to buy a Nexus 7 in a couple of weeks. Or maybe you can find somebody selling their old Nexus because they want to buy one of the new Nexuses. Here's the thing, though. It's great if you want to travel, like if you want, access to the internet and do email. Suddenly, a tablet makes more sense. If you get an OTG cable, they're under $10 on Amazon. It's a power cable. Basically, you'll need an OTG cable, a power cable for your external drive, a USB hub, and the latest version of Nexus Media Importer. That should allow you to write files from the tablet to the drive. So it's all very possible to do, but if you don't own the tablet already, you really might want to invest in a bunch of extra SD cards instead.
What is the message here?
I'm just saying. 25 to $30 for 32 gigabyte class 10 cards. Each one's going to get you over 1,000 pictures, even if you're shooting in RAW. And if you're not shooting in RAW, you're going to get probably more pictures than you can take in your entire trip to Japan.
Totally, and if you're going to do like burst RAW shooting, you might want to invest in the more expensive cards that provide faster transfer rates. Those extreme cards I just mentioned earlier, they support up to 45 megabytes per second and beyond if you want to really spend some cash. Sizes go up to 128 gigs if your camera actually supports it. That's the solution. Yeah.
Lots of SD cards.
Do it.
And one of the Pelican cases if you want to get really, really fancy and spend some money.
Totally.
Let's take a moment to thank one of our sponsors. I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor this episode of Tekzilla, AMD. People, you have a choice when you're buying a laptop. Take a look at the APUs from AMD. What's an APU? It's a CPU, it's a GPU, all in one. It has all the power you need and all the excitement you need to keep things going mobile. Speaking of mobile, John Brett's your Techno Buffalo himself, Skyping with us from LA. How are you, sir?
I am doing well. Thank you for having me back.
I hear a vicious rumor that you have children on the way.
Those rumors are confirmed. My wife and I are expecting our first child, a baby boy, in about 6 to 8 weeks, which is one of the reasons I am legitimately excited about this guy, the Acer Aspire Touch. AMD's got this kind of cool technology called AMD Steady Video. Essentially what it does is it reduces all the shaky and jitters you get during home videos. And I imagine during those first couple weeks, I am going to be tired and caffeined up. So I'm excited to actually have video that looks like it was filmed by someone who's got a steady hand like a surgeon and not just a sleep-deprived new father.
Oh my goodness, and you will be sleep-deprived, sir. And steadying video is just one of the many things you can do with the power inside of an AMD APU. And we want to remind you, Techno Buffalo, Tekzilla, that you have a choice in the market and you should be looking at AMD when you're shopping for your next laptop. Thanks again to AMD.